In this video tutorial, I'm going to be making some BV points and BV volumes. I have another video tutorial, and I am using version 2.71. And there's a little known bug in this version, so once they fix this video here will not apply if you watch it later on after they fix the bug. Alright, with that said, let's go to File, New, and don't hold every word I say word for word, but we'll try to get along here. File, Import, and I'm going to import my character. My character is probably different than yours, so I got different scaling size, so pay no attention to that right here. We're just going to bring this in. Alright, and I'm happy with that scale size right here. Now at this point in time, you can, if it's not, what you can do is you can import it again. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say let's try 200. Let's try that, and you can see it got real big there. But you know, if you press the hotkeys, you'll notice I'll zoom way out like this, and I'll press a hotkey and he zooms way in. Okay, it's too big. I liked it the other way around, so we'll file, import, OBJ, and we'll select here and bring it down like this. And the reason why I like this one like about this size, because every time that I press a hotkey, even if it's zoomed way out, it doesn't pop out of the screen. Okay, and another thing, at this point in time, I'll just go ahead and export him, and we'll call this number 2. Okay, and we'll save everything because it's just the shape, and we'll leave everything at default. Okay, we're not touching nothing. Alright, now I'm going to close the program down and restart this. Okay, I restarted the program. Then we're going to go File, New, and this time we're going to go File, Import, OBJ, and this is, we're going to do number 2. And since everything that, before I had to set them at extra scaling, but now since I export them out at the right scale, I shouldn't have to do nothing. Just leave everything at default and press OK. And there he is, back to the normal size there. See, when I press a hotkey, he doesn't, and when I scale in and out, he doesn't pop off the screen. So alright, let's go into part 2. Okay, you can see I paused the video, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the show arrangement points, and let's turn on synchronize. Most of you know this part here, and we'll just draw out a pattern right here. And when this pattern is selected and you select one of these pink points here, which are called arrangement points, alright, it goes right to that points right there. Another thing you know, notice it's curving, and why it's curving is because it's curving around what you call the show arrangement bounding volume. Now you have to select this little triangle way at the top here to see this option, and it's like this little green transparent shield. Okay, you can see when I select something, it'll wrap around to that area. Okay, that's pretty simple enough, and we're going to go ahead and delete that. And we're going to go ahead and go to the Windows tab, and we're going to go ahead and remove the pattern over here, and we're going to go ahead and load. We're going to import that file that I saved earlier. This is the number 2, and I fixed the scale on this, so when I open this up, I can leave everything at default and it'll come in perfect like it did the other time. But the problem here is the bounding volume and the points do not match up. Okay, now you can use the existing ones, but if you want to start from scratch, you can do this. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to the arrangement bounding volume. BV stands for bounding volume, so we'll select here, and I believe that you need to leave one. We'll leave this top one here alone, and we're going to select this second one and drag down, and we'll press the delete button here. Alright, then we're going to go over to the points, arrangement points. We're going to leave the top one. We're going to select second one down, come all the way down the list, shift click. They're all highlighted except the top one. Then we're going to press delete. And we're going to select this little bounding volume here, this little transparent shield. And you might be accustomed of, if you watch my cursor, imagine it'll show in the video. When I move my cursor, you can see when I get over the gyro here, it's acting like it's showing a little icon that I can turn it. And you're accustomed, if you get the little split arrow, that you can go either way. But sometimes that's not the case when you're doing this. So it could throw you a little loophole here. So what I like doing is just selecting, like right here, somewhere right, in each corner, and just grab it, and you can just drag it down. Okay, works a lot better. I don't like waiting for that little arrow to pop up. All right. Another thing is I'm going to be using hotkeys on the numpad. Okay, you want to get this thing centered as possible. You want to get it just right. You want to get a top view. All right, and you want to center that just right. Another thing is you might not want to do is have it tipped a little bit and start moving it, because you're not going to get accurate results. Okay, you use the hotkeys on the keyboard, to go left to right, top to bottom. It's going to be a lot better. Alright, now we're going to go to the points here. Okay, and we're going to select the body center here. This is the points. The BV right here is the bodics. It's assigned to it. And we got the X value. It's set at 75. Okay, keep an eye on the little pink sphere here. Let me zoom in here so you can see it. Alright, I want you to notice something. Let's start this thing all the way at 0. Okay, you notice it's on this side over here, and when I move it all the way around, my slider will go to 100, and it will reach all the way around, and the start and end point will be the same. But notice my slider goes to 100, and this is not 360 like some people would think, like a 360 and complete circle. So the way that you can think of it is, let's go to 0. Okay, 0 is the side, depending where you start at. Then we're going to go by 25. Okay, let's go to 25. All right, that's completely in the back. And if we go another 25, it'll be on this side right here. Let me press a hotkey here. If I go another 25, let me zoom in here, which would make it 50. It'll be in this side here. Press the hotkey to go to the front view here. Zoom in here. And if I go another 25, it's going to bring it right dead center. So that'll be 75. Now, if we get out of whack, you can also type a number in here like this. Really simple. And press the enter key. And we got the Y value. It goes up and down. That depends which way that your bounding volume is going. Okay. Now, what this offset does, it's like the Z value. Okay, kind of goes in and out. You have to go full screen on the video to see this. All right. On all these bounding volumes, they go right about where it touches the transparent, and that's where it stops. If you go past it, a lot of times it'll be invisible. Okay, let me turn that off. You see, now it's beyond it. You can bring it in here later if you decide you want to tweak it, but I think they recommend you to go ahead and bring that just a little bit on the outside. Okay. Alright. And another option that I'm not going to go into detail because this is an OBJ that has no bones to it, but when you have the bounding volume, you got this fitting. What this does, it anywhere the body moves, the bounding volume moves with it. This is what the fitting does. So we're not going to go over that because this is just an OBJ and it can't pose or move. Alright. Alright, we're going to go into the next step. Alright, while we're in the BVs here and we select this one right here, you got options for the height of the BV here, bounding volume, and the radius. Okay, the radius is this, if you want it to make it like a complete circle all the way around there, not flat in certain spots, the X and the Y should have the same value. Okay, if I was to type in 70 here, 170, I'll set it way off so you can kind of see it, what I'm talking about. Just do that. You can see got real flat. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to make this one 170 and this one 170. Press enter key. Alright, okay, I'm not going to go ahead and add any to this. Alright, let's just do an arm and let's get started. Okay, what I want to do is make sure I'm in arrangement BV. Probably doesn't really matter which order you start in, but I prefer to start. You can start to add a point first, but it's going to probably a little confuse you, so we need to add a BV first. Okay, and we're going to add it, and what I do, it says pan. Okay, it's important to rename these. Okay, alright, then we're going to go down to the basic info and we're going to call this one, let's call this one R for right arm. Okay, and slash BV. Okay, this is the bounding volume. Press the enter key. This did not update the name change on this version. Okay, it will. I'll just bear with me. So what I want to do is I want to bring this right. I think it should be. I'll rotate this. I want to rotate to the right. It rotates to the left, so kind of a little awkward here. And then we're going to do a top view here, and I'm going to just drag it this way. Now this arm's a little bit bent. Okay, and I probably should make two of these, one for the upper arm and one for the lower arm. Okay, but in this video I'm not, so I'm just going to click and drag up. I'm going to drag above. I need to resize this really quick. Okay, I need to just reselect this, and let's set this. It's got a bunch of numbers in here, and once you get the hang of it, you're probably not used to all these numbers, so I just go by the hundreds. Let's try and 555. Okay, and I think that's going to work there. And then we're going to just drag over here, and we're going to bring this down. We're going to do a top view here, and we're going to bring this about right in the middle. Now every time I select it, I got to come back over here and select it again. Now the needs to be a little bit wider in the radius for the X and the Y. Let's bring this up to 75, and this one to 75. Press enter key. Okay, that looks good enough for me. Just want to make sure in the front view and the top view it looks alright, and make sure it's kind of really centered right there. It looks alright, not too bad. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to go over to the arrangement points, and we are going to add, then we're going to select here, it's called the body. Also important to rename these. Okay, R arm point. Okay, then there's going to be a slight little bug. As you can see, there's no points that showed up, and what you might want to do is you might want to turn this offset. Usually in most cases, if you turn it way over here, sometimes it gets inside here where you can't see it. According to this bug, if you need to switch to the body, see it's set to body. If I turn off the arrangement points and turn it back on, nothing showed. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to switch it to the arm, and there it goes. Okay, sometimes you got to click this to bring it up to make it show, and sometimes you got to switch this back and forth to make it show. So we want the right BV to the right point here, okay? Right to right. Offset is way up front. So basically, if you get in a front view mode here, and we're going to do the offset. Well, before I do the offset, where do I want to place it? I don't want to do the offset yet because I want to get to the upper arm here. I want to slide it upwards, so let's go into the y-axis, and I want to do it up right by the bicep, and that's good enough for me right there. And if I want to bring it up or down, I can choose so like that. Now right before I finish up, I want to take the offset and I want to bring it real close to the mesh, and I'll know when I get close because it'll turn invisible here in just a second because it's going through it. As soon as it does, I'm going to stop and I'm going to bring it back through and stop right there. Okay, so it's very close to it. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to add to this one here. Okay, so all we got to do is we're going to add to it. We're going to select here and we're going to rename this. Okay, let's call this R point 2. Alright, we already did one, so alright. So what we got to do is we got to go ahead and just turn this on and off to make sure everything's working. Okay, a little click there. Might have to switch it back and forth to the bodies, and there it popped back up. Now I can see it. Now I can also do the adjustment for this. I'm going to do it right there where the arm folds up, and that's good. And I might want to bring that down just a little bit. I'm going to add another one. See, the names didn't change, so you got to go ahead and when I add another name here, see my arm, yeah, I messed up the name, but anyway, it's not showing under the body, but when I add one, you'll see the name update right here. Okay, watch right here. As soon as I press add, there it goes. There's one right there. We'll select this one and we'll just follow along. P arm slash point 3. Okay, name didn't change till I had another one. And once again, we're going to have to switch this to body and switch it back to arm. And we're going to have to switch this again. Click on and off. And then there's the third one. We'll slide this one down where this one goes. And as you notice, we don't have to do the offset. The offset's already good. So, okay. And let's bring this down just a little bit. That's good right there. Alright, now when you're done, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and save the BV points. We'll name this 1. Let's type 1 in there. And come over to the arrangement BVs and save this. You got to save both of them. Name this number 1. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and reload this. We're going to go ahead and file new, file import, number 2, leave everything at default. We're going to turn on the bounding volume, we're going to turn on the points, and what we're going to do is we're going to load our other ones in here. This one here, we're going to go ahead and go open. This is number 1. And you can see the points didn't line up, so we got to go to the points and open. And this was number 1. Nothing showed up, so make sure that you turn the arrangement points on and off. And you can see right there. And when I have a pattern and I select you can see it wrap around the area where I select it. And like I said, it's not really necessity to have that. If I wanted that point a little bit closer, I can. They probably don't recommend you do it, but anyway, I'm always doing something I'm not supposed to. So what I'll do is I'm going to select that one right here. This one was into the points. That was at center point, and I'll bring that offset in just right real close where I want it. Maybe I have to move this one up so I can get it out of the way there. Alright. I'm looking at this bottom one down here. And I'll bring that one in a little bit closer. So when I select this, select here, and you can see where got closer if I wanted to. And if I want to move it up at any time, I need to resave this if I do so. Go up a little higher here, and I can select it like that. And you can also edit the bounding volume if you need to, just bring it up or down too. So anyway, I think this is going to wrap it up. Let me go ahead and click this one more time. And go ahead, and there's some offsets over here. If you're over here in the properties there, before I finish up here, you can type of surface. You can make it plain surface without no curvature to it. Surface. You can adjust the these options right here. Kind of basically the same thing as the points up here. So okay, I'm going to select here and here. Alright, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you.